Hey everybody, this is Paul Heidema. Here's a story about the impact of working with leaders. And of course, I'm sharing this story because I do leadership coaching and consulting. This story takes me back a few years when I was working with an organization for about 1 year. And in that engagement, I was actually tasked with working with leadership, working with the teams, and helping set up an internal coach program. So when I was working with leadership, one of the things that we've noticed, and I've noticed over the years and years that I've coached and trained and consulted with leaders around the world in various ways, is that when you work with leaders, they can actually make or break something. And so how the leader shows up, or how leaders in general show up, be they people managers or executives or whomever, they can have a real impact and can really hurt, harm, or stall something. And so working with them is really important. So when I worked with a few leaders at this organization, one stood out. He was the vice president of the group that we were working with. He was the one that was excited to have me and a couple others come into his company, since I worked with him before at a previous company. And he wanted us to really make a huge impact on his organization. So what did I do? What did we do? We worked with this leader and we helped him to see possibilities. One of the things we identified early on is that these teams required space so they could work together and collaborate day to day, minute to minute, hour to hour. So when we looked around the space, the building that we're in, there wasn't much space at all for them to take over or to use. So what did this leader do? He actually let us use his office and the office beside his. He took a much smaller office, and then they broke down the walls to create a physical space for the team of about 10 or 12 people, which was huge. Then we started identifying that it'd be useful to work as a team. So then what did this leader do and other leaders do? They accepted the challenge, and we put up a board to identify obstacles that teams would place there any day they wanted, write down the name of the person in their team and what problem they were facing. And then the leaders would look at that every day, and then as a collective group, they would actually talk twice a week to solve those problems. They would talk about what it would mean and what they were going to do. By the time the next meeting came around, they would have solved it or made huge progress. So what I'm saying is here, work with these leaders. Really help them see possibilities. See that how they show up matters. And you will have a real impact on actually change, because if leaders change, others will go along with it too and be more open to change. Hope that helps. Have a great week.